Okay, welcome back. We're here for Career Mojo, and we're continuing to talk about this graphic that we introduced yesterday, where it describes how Career Mojo really sits at the intersection of these areas of your assets, so to speak, your talents, your skills and knowledge, your engagement. And in this short video, we're going to take a look at your engagement, not only your professional engagement, but your personal engagement. How engaged are you in your life and the relationships of the people you share rooms with, of the relationships of those around you? It has a dramatic impact not only on your quality of life, but how you're showing up in your career. And Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about this critical part of your mojo?
Yes, we were talking before that how work in and of itself is an essential part of the human experience because it creates meaning and it's also an important element for adjustment and development in life. So we create meaning through our work. So ideally, the personal and professional are connected together. They're not disconnected, although we've been somewhat conditioned to think that way, that there's this magical firewall between the two. The interesting thing is we know there is a huge crisis of engagement in the marketplace going on every day. When we hear statistics such as 1 out of 3 are stress-induced or feel as if they're engaged in stress-induced work, when we hear things like 70% are dissatisfied with their current work, that means that we have people showing up and they're only tolerating, they're not actually thriving. When we hear things like it costs organizations $380 billion a year for people to show up, um, Harvard University actually coined a term called presenteeism. So it's
Mm,
costing organizations money for people to just show up and they're not being productive. So in essence, the engagement, the way this plays out in real time is the idea of engagement is all about work productivity. And the culture at work has been inculcated with this idea that the harder you work, the better off you'll be. The harder you work, the early bird gets the worm. So it has all of these wonderful colloquialisms and
mm,
platitudes that's really making people sick.
mm,
The idea behind engagement is you want to be effective, and that helps create the flow. And that's why looking at the graphic there, you see that the flow will come out of your talent because remember, talent is innate. So it's all these natural things that really come to you, the natural patterns, the natural themes. And then through those themes, you create this fluid movement called flow so that when you're engaged in an activity, you bring a sense of quality to it. So the idea behind engagement, there's many factors that will impact and certainly influence how you're going to engage as far as setting the structure, setting the conditions. But two, probably the most important one, starts with intention. Just having a clear intention of what it is that you really want to do. What do you want to get from the event? That's why you always start from the heart. You start with the innate things, those intangible assets, because what that'll do is it sets your priorities. You have your priorities straight, you can operate with a sense of confidence, a sense of assurance in whatever it is that you're doing. So you need a clear intention, but then you also must have enough motivation. And if your motivation is not able to sustain you, and not only sustain you when you engage, if it's not regenerative,
mm.
then you can't look forward to the next day. I'm always excited when I wake up that, hey, I get to help people all the time. That draws me into the next day. I look forward to the next day.
Mm.
Not, I guarantee you, if we were to take a survey of many people about work, they're not looking forward to going to work. They're
Hmm.
not looking forward to it. No one says, oh my God, it's great to be here. It's a Monday, or it's a Tuesday. We
Yeah.
call them hump days. We say TGIF. So the idea behind engagement starts with those innate qualities that corporations call these soft skills. So once again, we see how all this old language, all these old ideologies, they're really not serving the purpose of what we say in Career Mojo, which is all about human first. You're a human being first. You're not human doing. See, you're being judged by what you do, not who you're being. And when it comes to engagement, you have to be. You have to be able to offer your full self to whatever it is that you're engaged in doing.
Yeah, I think that's a really important concept too, and you hit on a lot of really great points. But a lot of people think that activity means productivity, and that's not necessarily always true.
Exactly. Actually, there's a big difference in being busy and actually being productive, and even more so being effective.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all about engagement.
Absolutely. And that's a quality. That's the thing. It's a skill and it's a quality that one has to balance each moment.
Very cool, man. Well, we'll definitely be diving more into this graphic and certainly go more in depth in this in the upcoming Career Mojo Udemy course. So we look forward to sharing that stuff and exploring it. Brian, I look forward to exploring that with you. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.